Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. We are at Mernda station, another level crossing removal station. I just came here in that bus actually, all the way from Upfield. I took two buses, the 532 to Craigieburn, but then I just switched to the 390 and came over here to Mernda, which is a very cool route through the fields. Because this is like the very edge of the metropolitan area. Look at that, underneath the train tracks. So many elevated sections like this around here. This station is actually also the site of the 389, which is my local route in Perth. But it's just a lame circular route through the suburbs, so nothing special. Anyway, it's around midday and we're gonna take the 20-minute frequency train all the way back to Flinders Street. Another long train. All the trains are like 1 hour long, every line. I mean, like the majority of the lines are all longer than Perth's longest line, the Mernda Line, which is so weird. But anyway, this looks like quite a grand terminus, being an elevated station like this. Let's go in, touch on. Wow, there is so much space here and just like rocks behind the cage. There's toilets over there. Here's the timetable. They're all stopping, all stops. Nice. This is part of the northern group, like northeastern group, the red lines, Mernda and Hertzbridge, but they don't really join until very close to the city, so I'll do Hertzbridge another time. Today we're just going down from here. There's just, no escalators, then it's such a grand station. Oh well, look at that. We'll go up the stairs. Here we go. This is the island platform. Next train here is in 103 minutes on this platform. It's good that we got a two-platform terminus. Again, the tracks continue further on. There's probably more stabling facilities. Almost every station has that at the end. There's another exit down there with just a lift. There's a Woolworths right here as well, and the Coles at the back there. So again, all well connected. The hillside there. It's a nice line. Another Extrapolis though. They're literally everywhere, these ones. Most common train. We'll head to the back. Here we go, on board. We are up here today. All the way down, joins up at Clifton Hill with the Hertzbridge, and then into the city through Jolimont and direct. We're not going around the loop again. Good, because I don't want to film the loop so many times that it's just a tunnel anyway. Hello and welcome to the Mernda Line. Now before we even start this journey, I'm going to tell you this is honestly the most boring train line in Melbourne after my experience on all of them. There is like no really interesting points on it. Even though this is actually one of the newest sections of the network, opened in August 2018. All the hills over there. Looking pretty nice. We're gonna go through the more rural areas for a bit. And the Hertzbridge line is even more rural. Yep, so the line was extended from South Morang at that time. 3 extra stops and all the way up here to Mernda, which is basically the most northern extent of the Melbourne metropolitan area, along with Craigieburn It's actually further north than Hurstbridge, even though it feels way less rural. As I just said, like there's so much more suburbia here than the hills up in Hurstbridge. But really it's just this newer section here, some level crossing removal stations, and then it's like a straight track all the way down to Clifton Hill, where we then join onto the Hurstbridge line and enter the city from that direction. Now, unlike the Lilydale line, this section is actually duplicated, as you saw.
Now arriving at Hawkstowe.
Here's the first stop, elevated. A lot of up and down here again. Another elevated station. Looks the same. Whoa, that's a lot of power lines. More X-traps. Bruh, they're literally everywhere. How many do they have? I should search it up. I will later. Let's see how many of each train they have. Tunnel is this far out of the city. I mean, it's more like just an underpass, but quite a long one.
Now arriving at Middle Gorge.
Middle Gorge. Yep, more elevation. This one's side platforms though. Actually, no, it's not elevation, but it looks like that. It kind of is. I guess they just rebuilt this one, even though it doesn't seem to have been a crossing around. Well, me being very silly there, this is obviously a new station as part of the extension, but I didn't even know that this was an extension at the time. Now, this extension actually opened on the alignment of the old Whittlesea line, which closed in 1959. There was a community open day on the 19th of August 2018, Sunday, but the line didn't actually open until a whole full week later on the 26th of August, which is so weird. You can go see the video from Bus of Doom on the community open day. It's quite interesting to see how it was on that day, but really it's all just typical X-straps operating on the line extension, which was the newest bit of the network until East Pakenham opened just last year. And of course Metro Tunnel should be opening later this year. So many power lines and transmitters. And the bike path. Good to see there's a fence this time. Oh, now we're going down. What makes them decide if they're gonna build it under
Now
or
arriving
above?
at South Morang.
So weird, all these really like outer places have these big modern stations and no level crossings, and then the upfield line I was just on earlier has so many level crossings, so close to the city, and terrible stations. But I guess they'll get to it eventually. Yeah, so this part of the line goes almost directly west, but then we start going south again. Well, the announcements broke. We didn't hear the Epping one. Please tell me they'll fix the announcements. Otherwise we're not gonna hear anymore. Right now it's still scrolling South Morang. it's just X-straps here as well. So many. Yeah, let's search it up now. Okay, now the next stop is Lalor, which there's actually another proposal for an extension here from 2018 originally, and they actually spent $3.8 million to acquire 6 properties for the future rail corridor in 2017. But then after that there's actually been very little development or talk about this anymore. The plan was to extend it with a northern spur with new stations at the Pacific Epping shopping centre, Epping, Aurora and Wolleret. So there'll be a new terminus there at Wolleret. $190 comments, but I think quite a few have been retired. And then 212 X-traps, 72 Siemens, and 70 HCMTs. Yeah, so definitely the most X-traps. And 2 sprinters for the Stony Point line. Yep, announcements are broken. Lalor. Oh no, maybe it fixed. Stop scrolling south, Morang or whatever it was. And now they're back to the level crossings. Why did they do the outer part of the line first? I mean, I guess so that the inner part could still run. But they're gonna have to do it eventually.
Now arriving at Thomastown.
Yep, there we go. They're back now. Now they're also getting X-Trap 2.0 to replace all the old commands eventually. But they're not going to be in service till next year.
arriving at Keon Park.
Oh, back to the removal stations. Oh yeah, I know this one. This is the one where they were saying there's apartments built literally right next to it. This one opened really recently, just a few months ago. Yeah, right there. Look at that. Look at those apartments. Right there. Yeah, this one opened like, we'll check exactly when, very recently. Okay, it was in June, so like 5 months ago. From the filming time. Yeah, you can see the city down there. .555 bus out there, and then you get to this trash. It's just a hut and a ramp compared to the previous rebuilt station. What's this? Ruthven. And then another good elevated station.
Now arriving at Reservoir.
Reservoir. Just because of some water nearby. Weird name. Wait, is it a suburb? I don't know. I don't think so. Well, this opened almost 5 years ago in 2019. It's so different. They just do like one at a time. Was that another old railway alignment down there? It was just straight up grass. Yeah.
Now arriving at Regent.
Regent.
Now arriving at Preston.
Up, down here. Let's see when this one opened. Uh, 2022. 2 years old. See, it's all just different.
Now arriving at Bell.
Bell. That's it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He does. Alright, so you want the angles. Yeah, so they come in like this hand is probably 35. And if you need it bigger, you would be able to probably get 40.
How is the station name just Bell? Is that a suburb as well? But that was just a full elevated section between those two. Getting really good views of the city from here. Now we're gonna be parallel to tram route 86 for the rest of the way.
Now arriving at Thornbury.
Thornbury, not Thornley. And just there on the right hand side were the Preston workshops, where many of Melbourne's trams were originally built, including the W class, which are still running on the City Circle Route 35, as well as at the Whiteman Park Heritage Tramway in Perth, where I can drive those trams. So it's really cool to know that just right there, next to the train line that we're on right now, in the video is where those trams were built, which are now in Perth. Some of them. Very cool.
Now arriving at Croxton. Now arriving at Northcote.
And we just got someone getting on the train asking people for money. Average experience. It's so full now, so quiet again, but not really that interesting of a line, to be honest.
Now arriving at Merri.
Merri. So many stations here, and there's actually a tram route on both sides. There's the 11 on the west side, and then the 86, as I said, on the east side. We're about to have some weird curving though after this station. Okay, might get a little bit more interesting now. We're going through a park and over some water, and then after that we're going to connect up with the Hertzbridge line. Sorry.
Now arriving at Rushall.
This is such a sharp curve. Look at that. It looks like the tram line, not this train line. And this is the sharpest curve on the whole network, so that kind of explains it. It's part of an old triangle, which used to be here. Jeez, how did it get around that corner? Only one remaining part of the corner. I guess that's what like broad gauge allows you to do. Oh gosh, when I go back to Perth, the tracks are gonna look so narrow again, just like when I came back from Adelaide. I thought it was like a joke, like a toy train track. Alright, time to connect up with the Hertzbridge line finally. It's so long. All of this is just 20-minute frequency, is it? Yeah, that's terrible. And then Hertzbridge is also 20, so the section here has 10 then.
Now arriving at Clifton Hill. Change here for Hurstbridge services.
And it's not even an island, so you have to walk like all the way around. Where's even the crossing? What? Oh, it must be an underpass. Victoria Park. Victoria Park. We're not on the Vic Park shuttle in Perth though.
Now arriving at Collingwood. at North Richmond.
These stations have the most narrow platforms. And we're so close to the city now. Look how close these are.
Now arriving at West Richmond.
North and west, one after another, without even turning. Two tunnels, one after another here.
Now arriving at Jolimont.
This is where you get off for the Melbourne cricket ground, as you can see on the signs. And then next stop is already Flinders Street going in directly. There's the tunnel exits for when it's going back around in the other direction. This group of lines actually always runs in the clockwise direction because they have a at-grade crossover there which conflicts if they run anti-clockwise, so they just made it permanent one direction instead of switching in the middle of the day like the other groups. Although the Pakenham Cranbourne group also changed because the HCMTs were longer and they had to move the signals, so now only half of the tunnel groups actually switch directions in the middle of the day, not all of them like they originally did.
Now arriving at Flinders Street.
Still so weird to me that the main station has a street name and then there's actually a station called Melbourne Central on the city loop, but it's not even the main stop. Like, what? It's so bad. I mean, just to the naming convention I'm used to. Everything named after a road is always something so minor. And there's a Hurstbridge service. Also going by the loop. We're coming in right next to it. Oh gosh, this is gonna get packed as well. I think this is just going back up as well. Never mind, it's actually going to Lilydale now, so it's completely switching areas. Oh, that's a long trip for that driver. Keep on going to Lilydale. Anyway.
Otherwise, boarding platform 2, your Lilydale service on platform 2 is now ready to park. Please finish your boarding or stand clear.
There's the explanation of the complicated city loop and which direction everything's currently going in. The only thing that really terminates here is Sandringham Line, the pink one at the bottom, which I might go on now.
Lilydale service ready to depart safely.
Literally like 2 hours non-stop for the driver. Now he's got another hour-long trip out to Lilydale. Departing. Bruh.
Stay clear on 2, stay clear. Doors are locked, train is now departing, platform 2, stay clear.
So many manual announcements.
Train departing, stay clear.
Bro, even a train driver tries to get in, or what is that? I don't know. Thanks for watching this video. Another long trip and really full, so I couldn't say much, but that was a really weird line. It keeps going from new stations to old stations. Hopefully I can talk a bit more on the Hertz Bridge. We'll try to go at a more quiet time. See you in the next one. "20 times zoom," and it's still so nice. And out again. Bye.